The ring is sacred. Check your quarters, shiver me timbers.
It's quarter hour rating times here on Fog Wrestling. We're back with WWE Raw. And what a row it was as Braun Strowman would come out and say, "Roar," as he chases JD McDonough around the ring. I mean, I feel like I'm chasing my head every time I'm watching this show. Just isn't very good, isn't very interesting. But here, we're here to look at the ratings, break it all down, as DX would say, break it down. And that is what we're here to do. So, with no further ado, let's get into this. Let's start with quarter one, 8 o'clock to 8:15. It was Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, live promo with the beginning of Zayn versus Gable. Raw starts with 1.722 million. And for the first time in a long time, Raw actually got an overall viewership higher than it started the show with. And for me, that actually is not a good thing because, well, I mean, it's a good thing if you're getting a high rating at the end, but 1.733 is what Raw got overall, and the fact that they started off in the first quarter with less than that, shouldn't the first quarter be where everybody's tuning in? Oh, what's going to be happening tonight on Raw? How's they going to kick off Raw? For me, the opening of the show is really where you determine whether people are going to stay around and watch or whether they're just going to go and do something else. And yeah, 1.722, that's not great.
It's not. I'm going to go out on a limb and say there was sports on, right? Even though we said in the last video about Raw, there was no sports on. Maybe it's just a simple fact is these guys are mid-carders and people wanted to, you know what? The first star, the start of the 0 hour is shite. Let's check out the next one. Because who in the right mind would want to watch this? Even though we said it was one of the better things on Raw, it's nothing to tune in for. It can be entertaining to a degree, but who cares about Sami Zayn? Do you really want to team up with this guy? This bullier? My name's Sami Zayn, man. Fuck off. Garbage. 1-2-2.
Well, perhaps, maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a sport that was overlapping into 8 o'clock or something, and that's why there wasn't many viewers, but we go into quarter two, 8:15 to 8:30. It's a continuation of Zayn versus Gable. We got a 2% increase, which just makes no sense, really. You tell me that 2% just magically tuned in because Zayn and Gable were having a match. I think there was a sporting event that were carried over into 8 o'clock.
Or something that was happening, that's for sure.
Because then we're going to quarter three, 8 o'clock, 8:30 to 8:45, Alpha Academy backstage angle, LWO backstage angle, and Braun Breaker versus Kale fucking Dixon. This went up 3% in the viewership to 1.823, and it went up 5% in the key demographic. Why are people just magically tuning in from 8:30 to 8:45 during a quarter that's involving the LWO? Because for me, that's a reason to tune out, never mind tune in.
That's a reason to tune out and never come back.
Anyway, quarter four, we go down 1%. It was Braun Breaker putting Kale Dixon in an ambulance. You know what? I didn't put any respect on Jack Cartwheel's name, and I'm not putting any respect on Kale Dixon's name. Two fucking bums that are going absolutely nowhere in the professional wrestling business.
Yeah, but look at the way WWE treated the bum. Like an actual bum. Jack Cartwheel was treated like The Rock.
Well, hold on, Jack Was he really?
No, he wasn't. I mean, if it was one guy...
Yeah, but like Jack Cartwheel was fucking taking on a fellow bum, Nick Wayne. It's two bums. At least here you've got Breaker squashing a bum. That's a squash match. On AEW, you've got jobbers squashing jobbers. It doesn't make any sense.
All I'm going to say is, The Rock ain't wasting his time in our comment section, right? Jack Cartwheel is.
Jack Cartwheel's got nothing better today.
And that's not having a dig at anyone in our comments, but if you're a professional wrestler, right, doing your trade in WWE or AEW, you shouldn't be in our comments, man. You should be making millions.
I wish The Rock was in our comments.
So
tell you what, see if The Rock commented in one of our feeds, I would actually take the time to reply to him.
Aye.
Jack Cartwheel never even got... I didn't even contemplate, didn't even give him a thumbs up.
And if he watches this Raw ratings quarterly breakdown, my estimation of the guy is drastically plummeted as well.
Jack Cartwheel, you're fired. Anyway, let's get into the next quarter. So, yeah, quarter four, 8:45 to 9 p.m. did go down 1% to 1.8 million. This had Adam Pearce shouting at Braun Breaker as if he was going to do something, then he shot his pants. Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch backstage angle, then the beginning of Sky versus Valkyria. You can definitely see why Breaker would be upset, especially now when Triple H announces the winner of this is actually getting a world title shot. Yet Pearce says he wanted to protect Breaker, but he's put Lyra Valkyria and Eli Dragunov in, even though Braun Breaker's actually been on the main roster longer than those guys. I mean, make it make fucking sense. See if those two weren't in it. I think you could have at least said, well, you know what? There's a bit of consistency there. At least Adam Pearce. It makes sense.
No, it does, but why not have a heel authority figure that's got something in for Breaker? And that makes more sense.
Or Breaker done something that he didn't like. No, I didn't appreciate your attitude the previous week, therefore I didn't put you in it.
Yep.
But to say, I didn't put you in it because I didn't know if you were ready, but he's put two people that are greener than Braun Breaker and that have been on the main roster for less time than Braun Breaker. I mean, it just made no fucking sense to me, but whatever.
And people think this is great booking, though.
Oh, Adam Pearce, what guy. Quarter 5 though, 9 o'clock to 9:15. Highest rated quarter of the show, 1.916 million. This went up 6% in viewership and it went up 5% in the key demo. Key demo went from 729 to 764,000 views. And I think this is all to do with the placement. I think this is all to do with the time slot rather than the actual content that was on the time slot. Because when we broke down the ratings, and we looked at the top 8 most viewed videos from Raw, Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky wasn't on it. Yet for some reason they're getting the highest rated quarter. I don't think that these are the two biggest draws on Raw at all. I think it's just a coincidence that 9 o'clock, that's the quarter to be on, really. You know, that's the quarter that people will be tuning over to see what's happening. And instead of getting something that people could maybe stay and watch, they give them this.
Yeah, and Triple H will know, right, that people tune in at this all. So why showcase this? I mean, come on. Fucking garbage.
For me, at least, would it be better off showcasing Braun Breaker killing that guy?
Yeah. Yeah, establishes Breaker. I mean, Lyra Valkyria cutting a promo does nothing for anybody tuning in.
See at 9 o'clock, I just think it'd be better to see people tuning in, seeing an ambulance flashing in the background and Braun Breaker beating up this wee skinny kid than seeing Valkyria and Sky wrestle.
How can Triple H say, though, or would WWE that draw, we don't need to create new stars? If you had a draw in this segment, more people would have stayed. It's the power of deduction.
But doesn't Triple H realise, he says that WWE is the draw and they're not interested in creating stars, but does he not realise that WWE is only the draw because of stars in the past that made WWE the draw?
Yep, exactly.
See, over time, WWE's not going to fucking be a draw if you don't have stars that make WWE a draw. It's as simple as that.
Not as simple as that, and surely he must think, like, if that was the mindset back in the 90s, they wouldn't have went anywhere. They wouldn't have.
No, I mean, yeah, WWE's a draw now, but why is WWE the draw? It's a draw because of fucking guys like Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, John Cena. Not because of these people. Anyway, let's move into quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:30. New Catch Republic, down 5%.
That sums it up.
So we had New Catch Republic and Awesome Truth backstage. Eli Dragunov and Ricochet backstage with Braun Breaker. Dragunov, Ricochet and Pierce backstage. A Gunther promo and Judgment Day and Carlito backstage. This lost 5%. Any reason why? I mean, again, just look at the names here. New Catch Republic, Eli Dragunov, Ricochet, Adam fucking Pierce, Gunther putting us to sleep. Is it any wonder this lost 5% and went down to 1.817?
No surprise whatsoever. I mean, it's segment heavy, but look who's in it. Gunther, Dragunov, Ricochet. Yeah, we put on a great match last week. Oh yeah, we did, Eli. At least Braun Breaker speared him at his bloody burritos, but come on. What the rest of it?
Yeah, then we go to quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45. A Baron Corbin video, even though I thought the guy was on SmackDown. So why is there a Baron Corbin video on Raw?
I think he is on SmackDown, isn't he?
Yep.
That makes no sense.
Zoe Stark.
He is, because he was in the King of the Ring on SmackDown.
Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville backstage angle. Fucking says it all. Then Awesome Truth versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Another 6% lost. Raw now down to 1.713
we
thousand.
joke, right, about Shayna Baszler. But she is someone you would tune out seeing.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Like, I mean, WWE's lost 200,000. More than 200,000 over the last 2 quarters. And they're losing it from Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky. It's not like they've lost it for an appearance for The Rock.
Yep.
They're down 200,000 from Valkyria and Sky. I mean, Jesus Christ.
People are picking up the Sky remote and tuning it. That's what they're doing.
Quarter 8 though. Bit of good news. 9:45 to 10 PM. Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day continued. Post-match with Braun Strowman. Becky Lynch, Valkyria, Liv Morgan backstage. Then Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn, Otis backstage angle. Then Becky Lynch comes out to cut her live promo. This went up 5%, 1.798 million. Also went up 8% in the key demo. Thoughts on this? Why did this go up? Any, you want to give a reason here?
I'll give a reason. I mean, the final hour's about to begin. Becky Lynch is one of the bigger draws on the show.
People are getting tuned in to see what happens at 10.
I think so. I'll go with that.
Well, it's 10 o'clock. We're here, 8:45. We get the Lynch Morgan live promo. Judgment Day backstage with Carlito. New Day with Karrion Kross backstage. Then we get the women's match. Baszler, Stark, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, Ivy Nile, Maxine Dupree, Damage Control. Boom, 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 boom.
Let's be honest, though.
Minus 7%.
Say you survived the mediocre Morgan Lynch promo, followed up by Judgment Day blowing the tits off. Then it's Karrion Kross. You're on your knees. You're begging for mercy. And then you get the worst tag match you've ever seen.
And you can see why 7% would tune out during this.
I'm surprised it's not 70, but we'll deal with 7.
Yeah, so 7% gone. Then we go into quarter 10, 10:15 to 10:30. We get a continuation of that tag match, followed by a Ludwig Kaiser promo backstage. And then Drew McIntyre cut like a 30-second promo. Down 4%. And now at this point, we are 300,000 down from the quarter 5 segment with Valkyria and Sky. And fuck me, we're 300,000 down. And just look at what's happened in between. Is it any surprise you've lost 300,000?
No surprise whatsoever. I mean, it's shocking at the end of the day, but see when they went to 3 hours, right, back in 2012, at least then they had the stars to make it work. The roster was still bad. I mean, I think the mid-card was diabolical, and I think the jobbers, the people beneath them, were worse, but at least you had, like, Rock, Cena, Punk, Brock, Taker, Triple H, like, to carry the R's. See, no, man, this is mid-card city. No wonder the ratings have, like, cut in half.
No, I remember wrestling back then, right? People can say what they want about the mid-card, but I do remember at the top of the hour, you were always getting a top star.
Yeah, and that's what
you were getting, like, a take. See the end of the first hour, end of the second hour, the beginning of the show, and the main event, you were getting a top star, whether it be Triple H or Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, The Rock, CM Punk. It didn't matter who it was. See, in the important slots, the beginning of the show, the ending of the show, and the 2 hours, at the 9 o'clock and the 10 p.m, you were getting top people in those roles. And look at this show. Who are you getting in those roles? You're getting fucking nobody.
That's why the ratings are better, though, right? If we knew going into Watch Raw now, you'd get a great guy at the end of each hour, I'd stay up way more. Like, well, why sit up, right, in the UK to 4 a.m, to watch Jey Uso against Gunther, and then you get that ending. That is the biggest slap in the coupon I've ever seen.
Yeah, so let's go into quarter 11. Alpha Academy, backstage angle, Jey Uso backstage angle, and then we get the beginning of Uso versus Gunther. This actually didn't move in terms of percentage. It went up 8,000, but not enough to increase by a full percentage. And then quarter 12, 10:45 to 11 p.m, Jey Uso versus Gunther. This lost 3%, down to 1.561 million. So people say that this is main event Jey Uso, and people say this is, Gunther, world champion material Gunther. There was nothing else happening, right? The last quarter was just Uso versus Gunther, and this lost 3%, and this lost 3% on a 1.6 million viewership. It's not like this lost 3% on a 4 million people. So they already had a really low amount of people watching going into the final quarter, and even 3% still tuned out. So this just tells me that nobody cares about a random fucking match, even though it was a semi-final match. Just, you need more than wrestling. Nobody stuck around. Nobody cared enough to see the ending of Jey Uso versus Gunther, and it probably doesn't help the fact that they knew nothing was going to happen. People probably expected, you know what, this will end with either Gunther winning or Uso winning, and the show will go off there. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Where's the suspense? Oh, who's going to come out at the end? Who's going to interfere? Or how's the show going to go off there? You know the show's going to go off there with one of these two guys celebrating a victory.
We didn't get that.
We didn't even give Gunther time to get up.
Jey Uso probably got the tap or submit.
Pass out.
Pass it. It was a disgrace anyway.
Fucking Jesus passed it before we passed it.
He did,
Or
but
we passed it before he passed it. I don't know what to do.
they need to go back to 2 hours. And I'm not saying it would be much better, but Jesus, man, it'd be much bearable to watch. The rating would benefit big time.
I just think it's bad, man, that the main event, that final quarter, is losing viewers. Say what you want, man. You put The Rock in the last quarter and it's not losing viewers.
No, absolutely not. But it just shows you, like, they've just got no draws. And
If you're losing quarters, you shouldn't. If you're losing viewers, you shouldn't be in the fucking main event. See, if this was back in the day, Uso and Gunther wouldn't be getting any more main event slots.
yeah, no, but
See, if you were constantly losing viewers, you would not be in there.
see by Triple H's model that everyone, like, no, we're not creating a star. It makes sense why Valkyria and Sky are outdrawing these guys by like 350,000.
Yeah, because the only reason they're in a better time slot.
Yeah, that's it. And you know what? Can you honestly say it was Sky against Valkyria in the main event? You switched Jey Uso Gunther.
No difference.
How much of a difference are we talking?
None, and that's what Triple H has at the moment. So, but yeah, you look at it like
Triple H's logic works a wee bit now when you've still got a bit of stars there for like past errors. See, in 10 years, 20 years, that is humped.
But who? I mean, who's here that's a star?
Well, no, it's not here, but I'm talking about like when The Rock was there. And like they've got CM Punk that will come back. But see when Punk actually calls it a day, they're not going to get those wee spikes. See when The Rock's never coming back again, no spikes. Just shite.
Well, John Cena said he's coming back for 1 year full time, and the quicker that happens, the better.
Oh, John. No, but he's a jobber, John. I like John. John's not a draw.
Oh, he is a draw.
I've...
Although WWE's done their best to fucking kill him, like, I mean...
See, at this stage of the game, CM Punk's a bigger draw than Cena.
I'd agree with that.
He wasn't in 2012
He
when
is
Punk
now.
tried to claim he was. But he is fucking now, I think.
Well, he was close, like, he was the only guy close to Cena in 2012.
Yeah.
And unfortunately now we're in an era where... I mean, Triple H said it himself. They ain't interested in creating new stars. They want WWE to be the draw. And, it tells
I
because...
said it in Dynamite, folks, right? Some people are better off staying retired, and some people are just better off staying away. See if CM Punk didn't step away from wrestling for 7 years, his stock would have plummeted. And it's the same with Cena. See if he just stopped appearing after like 2017 and came back for a main event run, we'd still think he's Big Match John. It's the same with The Rock. See if The Rock was appearing every like couple of months and jobbing it, he'd be a bum.
I think the last time Cena felt big is when he challenged Reigns at SummerSlam.
Yep.
See, ever since then, he's got in feuds with Austin Theory and Solo Sikoa. He's been squashed and it's done nothing for him.
See when him and The Rock had the face-off at Mania, it was like, nah, that's The Rock. And who's this? Sorry.
Yeah,
Saka,
but look at how
Patty
big.
Morgan.
But look at how big that was 10 years ago. Cena felt like he was on fucking par with The Rock.
Cena goes for the punch and The Rock just fucking, like, it's like a half-assed punch and The Rock just bars him. Anyway, John's done.
John's done. Big match, John. You can't see him for real this time. You can't see him. Anyway, guys, that's it.
Taylor's a ghost as well.
You know what? I'd actually make a case that AEW's got more people that can draw for them. AEW, I think, has got more people that can spike a rating than WWE do in terms of their full-time talent.
And that shouldn't be allowed to happen.
See when Daniel Bryan's see when he's in a quarter, the quarter's going to go up. Every single week, fair play to him, right? You know the quarter's going up when he's in it. Pretty much the same way Adam Copeland. See in WWE, I don't think you have that. You really don't. It's just whoever's in the best time slot. No one's going to tell me that Lyra Valkyria and Io Sky are the two biggest draws and that's why they got the biggest quarter. It's because it was in the 9 o'clock segment.
Yep. That's it.
I'm not necessarily burying Jey-Uso and Gunther. I'm not saying they're the two worst people. Absolutely not. And that's why they're involved in the lowest quarter because it was at the end. But again, you just feel if there was somebody that was actually a draw in that segment, then it wouldn't have been that low. It's sad that the final, the main event, the ending, that should be when the most people are tuning in to see how the show goes off the air. I just don't get it. You can almost accept people tuning out from time to time. But surely by the time you get to the ending, that's when everyone should be tuning back in. Oh, how the draw end? What happened?
See, in movies and TV shows and wrestling, the best part should be the end. Get you to tune into the next one.
Oh, what's this? Rocky's taking on Ivan Drago and Rocky 4. I'm fucking not watching that, but I'm tuning it. This doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense, Palumbo.
No, but see, back in the day, like, I guarantee you, like, see, people would have tuned out, but knowing that you were getting Austin or The Rock in the main event, they would have tuned back in.
Absolutely.
But now it's like, fuck, nah, I don't care what's happening.
Anyway, I'm sick of talking about Raw. It's Raw. It's fucking Raw.
Aye, alright, Gordon Ramsay. Till next time, peace.